do you feel a sense of responsibility for what happened?
That's what I wanted. If this nigga manages to not answer the question, right? If he manages not, he cold.
When did you find out things got as bad as they did?
Yeah,
that's the question.
When did you find out?
Yeah, it wasn't really until like minutes until like the press conference until I figured out exactly what happened. You know, even after the show, you know, you just kind of hearing things, but you don't know. I didn't know the exact details until minutes before the press conference.
He said he didn't know anything. He said he didn't know anything until the press conference. If you saying you ain't hearing until the press conference, but TikTok was lit, bro. TikTok had footage. TikTok had footage before the show fucking ended, my nigga. Like, if you telling me you didn't do one scroll on TikTok, and you didn't do one, I think every celebrity, even I'm pretty sure even your own celebrity friends hit you up and told, like, you cannot say I did not hear nothing about it really until the press conference. That doesn't make any sense. You had to have heard. I fucking saw the TikTok, bro, and I'm in Minnesota. I wasn't even at the show, and I saw what happened at the show.
And even at that moment, you kind of just like, wait, you know, what? Like,
he's saying what? Like, he didn't know it happened, but like, bro, he was literally like, I mean, I don't like to go to this clip. He's literally staring at the nigga on the ground, just he's literally staring at bro. And then he got on here and said, I didn't know what happened. You can't say that. You can't say that.
They collectively heard folks screaming help every time you stopped the song to get your attention. Did you hear any of those screams?
Nah, man. And you know, it's so crazy because I'm that artist too. Like, you know, anytime you can hear something like that, you want to stop the show. You want to make sure, you know, fans get the proper attention they need, you know. Anytime I could see anything like that, I did, you know. You know, I stopped it like a couple of times to just make sure everybody was okay.
Break that down a little more. Like, nobody knows what it's like being on stage except for other artists. So speak to us from that perspective of what you can see and hear. It was like, what, 50,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, you got like a venue, you know, filled with like 50,000 people. But it's like a sea. You got lights, you got sound, you got pyro, you got your in-ears, got your sound, got your mic, you know, got the music.
So it's hard to tell excitement from danger, so to speak?
Yeah, of course. Everything kind of just sounds the same. And at the end of the day, you just hear music. When you're in a show, you just enter the show, and anytime you can feel anything close to you, you know, you try to like definitely get to that.
So as an artist, how much can you actually, I guess, help in that position?
You can only help what you can see, you know what I mean? And then, you know, whatever you're told, you know what I'm saying?
Does raging make it harder to identify when something is going wrong in the crowd?
You know, raging is just you know, they have a textbook, you know, definition, but, you know, in concerts, we've grown it to be just an experience.
This nigga is just talking about a fucking mosh pit, okay? Jesus fucking Christ. Y'all not doing nothing heavier than fucking rock bands, nigga. Like, there's niggas really out here swinging and fucking shit. Y'all wasn't doing this. This is not what y'all was doing. Y'all ain't going that hard. Y'all not doing that. That's not what y'all doing. So like, and nobody died here. Y'all not doing this. Textbook, whatever. Y'all not even at this level.
And you know, it's typical for you to stop a show to make sure fans in the crowd get the help, you know, they need. There's even footage of that night of you doing that during the set. Were you unable to sense like a difference in urgency this time around?
I mean, yeah, because, you know, you stop the show, but you know, if something's gonna happen, if it's something detrimental, somebody's gonna let you know, or, you know, the show just stop.
Here's the thing that's just like, it's just like incredible because it's just like things on TikTok were getting millions of views during your show, if not hours after the show. During the fucking show, videos with millions of views on TikTok was showing your show. So even if you're saying the crowd wasn't loud enough, your team, your fucking manager, your niggas that literally their job is to PR your shit, okay? While you're doing a show, they're watching on TikTok, seeing what the fuck is happening. And none of them decided to call you. None of them wanted to stop the show. Let's just keep it at that. Let's keep it a buck. None of those niggas, them niggas all knew what was happening. They did not want to stop the show. So even if you're saying the crowd, you couldn't hear them, your own team did not even want to come up to you to stop the show. So it's not, I don't blame Travis really, but like your whole team knew. It got so bad that fans climbed up to people that worked on the stage to tell you to stop the show. Y'all fucking knew. Like, let's not fucking do that, bro.
You just go off of what's going on, you know, which makes it so like, so crazy because like.
What's crazy?
You know.
What?
I feel like if, you know, anyone would have known, it would have just been like, it wouldn't have got that far,
What?
you know.
What? He didn't even say anything.
What headspace were you in when you posted that initial response video?
I mean, it was, I think it had to have been the night of, you know. So I was just in a.
That apology video was the night of, but that didn't get posted until I think like a fucking week later. I don't even think it was around the same day that the fucking show happened. I think it was like almost a week later. I swear to God, it was a week fucking later.
Just trying to get a communication out to my fans, you know. I had little to no information, you know, so I was just trying to figure it out and just communicate to them, you know.
Do you regret that initial video? Do you regret reacting in that way, or not having all the information before you said something?
I mean, yeah, because, you know, you just don't know what's going on.
How did you regret? You said you made that video the day of. I don't think it got posted the day of. I don't think you posted that shit on the day of. You posted like a week later. So like, how could you regret? You had time to think, well, maybe I should change it. I swear to God, you didn't post it the same day. Maybe I'm wrong.
But at the end of the day, I don't, you know, I just wanted to get something out. You know, how my message came out, I can't, you know, I can only go off what I know. But my true intentions of it, you know, was really just trying to get a message across and, you know, really wanted to just touch to the fans, touch to the families, you know, that we here, we grieving, and we'll get through this, you know, through this process.
So what did you know in that first video?
I mean, at that time, I think we just knew that, you know, people passed, you know. We didn't know how, you know, that it was, you know, the news, you know, I think police came out and said.
Okay, so he just said during that video, all he knew was that people passed away, right? He said he didn't know what was happening until minutes before the press conference. Was his apology video before the press conference or after the press conference? Because he said that he did not know during the fucking, he didn't know till a couple minutes before the press conference. But now you're saying you knew during the apology. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? When did you know? When did you know? This shit's called the Travis Scott Show. It's your show. It's literally your show. That means that anyone that involved, all management, all team, whatever, is your niggas. And if it's not your niggas, and it's some other nigga that just paid you for a show, but they just supplied you with all the shit, then just say that. But so far it says the Travis Scott Show, so then people are thinking it's the Travis Scott team and the Travis Scott security and the Travis Scott project manager that make sure shit like this don't happen. So now you're gonna have to, like, either he's gonna have to say, this isn't the Travis Scott Show, it's the Travis Scott plus Live Nation plus this and this other millionaire show, right? Which means now he has to claim that it's not just his show, or he's just gonna hold and say it's his show, which then you gotta hold responsibility. You gotta have to pick one.
And, you know, we just trust in the, you know, the professionals to kind of just make sure that, you know, people, you know, are taken care of and, you know.
Trust the professionals that you hired.
Safely, you know, I just can control what I can on the stage, and then, you know, you have the professionals control what they can in the crowd, you know.
You know, it's crazy, just, you know, being kicking it with you for a little bit, like I can see that, you know, this is weighing real heavy on you.
Yeah.
So.
He said, based on the way that you're acting, I can tell that this weighs on you real heavy. It's like, I don't know how you did all that, Charlamagne. I don't know how you came up with all that. The vibe that he's giving right now is kind of like, it sucks, but it's almost like he's like, I understand the whole situation, but his vibe right now is, it's not my fault. That's the vibe that he has right now. Hey, chat, does he feel bad for what happened in their chat? I'm not really good at reading people. Do y'all think he feels bad for what happened? Yes or no in the chat? Then it ain't just me. And on YouTube, you'll see the chat say yes or no. Personally, I don't think he feels like it's his fault. I feel like he blames someone else, and I don't think he can blame them publicly. Do
you feel a sense of responsibility for what happened?
That's what I wanted. Ooh, that's what I wanted. 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 That's what I wan
come to the show and have a good experience, you know?
If this nigga manages to not answer the question, right? If he manages not, he cold. If he don't answer this question, right? If he don't somehow say where the fault is, if he don't say it at all, that's how I know. If he somehow.
And I have a responsibility to figure out what happened here. I have a responsibility to figure out the solution. And, you know, and and hopefully this takes a first step into, you know, us as artists, you know, having that more insight of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the professionals to kind of, you know, surround and figure out more of an intel, whether it's tech, whether it's, you know, more of a response, whether it's whatever the problem is, you know, to figure out that in the future, moving forward in concert safety, make sure it just never happen again, you know?
Okay, so one, he did not answer the fucking question like I fucking thought I knew he wasn't gonna answer it. I already fucking knew that. He literally said, my responsibility is to help fix this, but he's not saying, that's not what Charlamagne asked you. Charlamagne asked you, how much do you think is your fault for this happening? That is what this nigga asked you. You jumped over that shit, my nigga. You jumped over it, horse, fence, all that. You just jumped over the fucking question and just said, my responsibility is there to help figure this out and help solve it, but, you know, and after that, really, it wasn't my fault. That's what you just did. That's what you did. You just said, it wasn't my fault, so I don't...
How much responsibility do you think, like, Live Nation and Score More, the promoters, have in all of this?
I mean, you know, they do their job of, you know, setting these things up. So, I mean, I think, you know, they when we dial into what, you know, specifically happened here, I feel like, you know, even they can kind of help, you know, figure out what happened in a sense. You know, but at the end of the day, I think collectively, everyone needs to just figure out the bottom line solution. But, you know, especially in concert safety, you know.
Okay, and this is what he's saying. He's saying, bro, we shouldn't play the blame game. We should just try to fix it. But it's like, if we don't know whose fucking fault is it, if we don't know who's responsible with it, how the fuck do we fix something if we're not going to say who's responsible or where someone didn't do their job? Okay, if Charlamagne doesn't ask this nigga, do you have a fucking person that does like live show protection or security or safety? Do you have one of those? He gonna have to ask that shit. He gonna have to ask that shit at least once.
You think these festivals are too big, man? 50,000 people is a lot of people for anybody to control.
Yeah, and you know, I just think it's not about the maximum of it. I think it's about the attention to what's going on and how it's going on. And as long as that's handled, I feel like, you know, things can be, you know, can go okay, will be okay, you know. But if you look at it through the history of festivals, you know, this isn't the first time happening. There's been a long history of this, you know. So I feel like if you look at the overall, you know, view of that, and you kind of like dial in, okay, what could we do better to fix this overall for general concert safety? I think we figure out the problem, you know?
This nigga just said, so I'll translate what he just said to y'all, okay? I'll tell y'all what he just said. He said, just so you guys know, I'm not the only one that has festivals. I'm not the only person that had a person die at a festival. So it's like, well, if other people have people die at their festival, it's not just me. It's everyone. It's not just me, okay? Everyone has people die at their festival. So we shouldn't really be targeting on me right now. We should be targeting all festivals and saying, how can we make all festivals better? That's what we should be doing. This is what that nigga just fucking said, okay?
Live Nation reportedly agreed to end the concert early after the Houston PD and the fire department declared it a mass casualty event, but the concert continued for another 40 minutes. Was there ever any communication to you on stage that you should end this?
Well, yeah, I mean.
Okay, this is a L right here. Live Nation already declared the show to be over. It went for another 40 minutes. Are you telling me that Live Nation couldn't get to you? The people that's helping you run the show couldn't get to you? For 40 minutes with the police department? You're going to have to say something good right here. You're going to have to say something real good. Don't just jump over this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, they just told me right after, you know, the guests get off stage, you know, we're going to end the show. You know, and that's what we did. You know, other than that, there was no other communication. You know.
Oh, so you mean after the guests? What you mean?
Yeah, after the guest comes out,
okay,
we're going to end the show. But it wasn't communication on why. you know, it was just, you know, that's what came through my ears, you know.
Oh, so they didn't say stop now.
No.
Oh, okay. Just so y'all know, that's declared, like right now. That means the police department and Live Nation said you don't gotta end the show now, but finish it up. They didn't say end the show now. That, just so y'all know, the team said don't end the show now, but try to wrap it up. We kinda got some people dying. Just try to wrap it up, okay?
You know, I'm the face of the festival, you know, I'm an artist, you know. So yeah, you know, the media they wanna, you know, put it on me, but at the end of the day, it's like,
The media wants to put it on you because it's called the Travis Scott Show. And then when we talk to you, we tell you, well, if it's not you, then who is it? And then you don't want to say who it is. It's kind of like, well, what the fuck? Okay, you don't want to say it. You don't think it's you. You don't think it's anyone on your team. So you don't think anyone's responsible. That's what you don't think anybody is responsible. That's why this is so confusing.
Did everything you possibly could to help in that situation?
yes, anything I physically can, for sure, yes. You know, and it just, you know,
What?
if knowing, you know, what's going on, you know, you would just wish, you know,
What?
you know,
What? You know what?
if you,
What?
you know, could have done something better. Or,
What?
You know, but standing there, 1,000%.
You know, we know
1,000%. What the?
the families of the people who passed are definitely watching this right now. And you know there's
1,000%.
you could say to heal the trauma these families who lost loved ones are you know are going through, but being that you know they're watching, what would you say to them directly?
I'll say to them that I'm always here, and that, you know, I'm in this with you guys, and I love you. I understand that they're going through, you know, they're grieving right now and they're finding understanding right now. It's not just like a right now thing, it's a for everything. And these people that came to the show, they are my family. And I've always had that connection to the people I feel like that listen to the music or came to my shows. It's really hard on me even just, you know,
What?
to even like, you know,
What?
man,
What?
even,
What? What, Travis? Say it. Say it, Travis.
cause you know, they end up,
Is there a gun to this nigga's head? Is there someone in this room? Is there a gun on this nigga's head? Is somebody watching this nigga? It's like there's something he don't want to say. Swear to God, that's what it seems like. It's like he don't want to say a certain thing. So I'm pretty sure he's really prepared for this. Like, I think because of lawyers, court, all that, I think there's a lot of things he cannot say.
they lost their loved ones, you know. I'ma fix this for the future people, you know, and fix the solution, and fix this problem. I mean,
Fix
you
the
know,
solution. Yeah.
and find a solution to making sure that this doesn't happen in the future. And definitely,
Okay, so it's just a great. Travis Scott is not he's not good at interviews. I think he gets shy. I think he's a shy nigga. I think he's shy, bro. I think he's a shy. He look nervous, shy. Maybe just because of the situation, but he don't look like he do interviews a lot. He looks shy or scared or worried or like I don't know. I don't know if this is the regular Travis Scott. He looks like interviews is not his like great point. His speaking skills is not on point. I think that's what it is.
because other than that, it's like, you know, the show goes on tomorrow, or, you know.
Yeah, show goes on tomorrow. When is the next Travis Scott show? Okay, if the show goes on, when is the next Travis Scott show? Portugal? Like, is that it? Like, is there any... When is the next... I don't think there's another show right now.
From the lawsuits to the media coverage, do you feel like you're personally under attack?
I mean,
Say something. Say something. Fuck, Travis.
yeah, you see your name in it and the shit, and it's like, at the end of the day, you step in these, you know, you step and you want to do a festival, and, you know, when you want to do things and you want to build up, you know, it comes with certain things, right? So I think it's all about how you respond to it, and I think it's all about how you react, right? So I could feel that way, but I think more so about, it's more about how I feel about the response that I care about more so, which is, you know, actually, you know, trying to step in and, you know, really step up to really fixing what's happening
Every time Charlamagne says something that's like anything that can get him to like to speak on fault on himself at all, he like flips. He like, wow, he just flips he literally like he's not going for that. Not going for that. So either one thing I do wonder, is he trying to deny all forms of responsibility of what happened because that's what he truly thinks? Or two, is he trying to deny all forms of responsibility because he don't want to have to deal with a lawsuit and like deal with a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Which is like, bro, if 8 people died at my concert, bro, and I am rich and my bitch is Kylie Jenner, nigga, the least you can do is throw each of those niggas 100 bands. Alright? And call it that. The least you could do is throw each one of them niggas 100 bands, and that's a good enough sorry, okay? Fuck. Like,
I wonder, is there a way to even prepare for this? Because nobody, like you said, when you're doing the planning for a show like this, nobody is planning for this to happen. So how do you even prepare for something like this to happen?
I don't know. And I feel like when it comes out a little bit more how this could have happened, I feel like that's how we can kind of attack that. But even I was thinking in ways like tech solutions. You know, people come into these festivals with these bands that only scan you in, right? You have all type of tech now that can track your heart, can track your...
bro, why won't he say where they could have done better at, or where they could have? I don't know how he's gonna avoid that this whole fucking interview.
You know, oxygen levels, can track if you're gonna be sick. You can put things now if you're gonna be, get lost. There's all type of ways now. I feel like that can be the band that only gets you access to entry or to a food line or to food trucks can now be solvable to helping save lives, can now be more of a response to people that are...
What you gonna do? You gonna give everybody a fucking Apple Watch, nigga? Is that what we're gonna do? If we just gave everybody an Apple Watch, we wouldn't have had this problem. We would have checked your heart rate, and if we saw that you died, it would have been on the computer system. Bro.
I feel like that could be a way, or even just figuring out what the exact solution, what the exact problem of it was.
What the problem? We don't know what the problem is. I feel like I can name some. I could name some problems. I could definitely name some fucking problems. One, it seems like you guys didn't have like a fucking project, like a project event manager. It doesn't sound like you had an event manager, and even if you did have one, it doesn't seem like you had a person that communicated to him. It doesn't seem like y'all had good communication. It don't seem like...
And dialing more into that, I think you can I feel like there is a way.
You feel what?
I just think it needs to be time spent on figuring that out.
Have you been able to have any personal conversations with any of the families who lost loved ones?
I was able to, but I just want to just respect the, the privacy of the conversation, and I'm thankful for them for even allowing me to have the conversation.
How did you feel when some of the families rejected your offer to pay for the funerals?
Oh.
All things are understandable, and at a time they're grieving and they're trying to find understanding, and they want answers.
That's nice of him to at least pay for the funeral. This man, literally, the main things that everybody wants to know. Does Travis Scott feel like he's responsible or any part responsible for the deaths of these people? No. Does he blame Live Nation or anyone else that was like involved with setting up the event? No. What does Travis Scott believe? That like we should just work together and try to come up with a solution. That's what he says. He does believe that we can make the shows better so that no one dies. He does believe that. That's one. Other than that, and of course, he thinks that we should give everybody Apple Watches so that everyone can feel safer in the show. If we give everyone Apple Watches and we can see their heart rate, then we can know when they die. And if they die, then I'll know we got to stop the show. Because we'll see your heart rate go off on the scanner. You get what I'm saying? He does believe that, for sure. Other than that, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel like it was his fault at all. Now personally, if we're looking for my opinion, I feel like I can't really say exactly unless I was in his exact position. But when I imagine his position, unless it's legally where they want to make sure he don't assume any kind of fault because of the lawsuits. Which then, if that's his reason, then I understand that. But if he truly believes that he had no responsibility, that would be like an L to his character. Whatever about this show, but the next one, bro, like you are responsible. Your job to your fans is to make sure that like no one dies next time. That's really your job. And if they die again, you better not get on here saying that you weren't responsible for that. Like, cause like now at this time, it's like if you care for your fans, you're somewhat responsible. Like that's just the case. You're somewhat responsible if you care about your fans. If you don't care, then I guess you're never responsible. I guess, but like, bro, I don't know.